what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Shirts versus Skin podcast. Ahmed couldn't be here today because he's currently actually at the Orlando bubble. ESPN invited him over for some inside
He's
look.
Wo- he's Wojnarowski's intern.
Yes.
And first, before we start, we got to say something. It's been 2 weeks since we recorded a podcast. Actually, 2 weeks from the live stream.
Companion,
So
yeah.
it's been a while. We're still here.
Yes.
We're still ready to talk our shit. Okay,
We wanted to build up some suspense, and
Yeah.
what a better way to come back than with two great guests. We got. You guys want to introduce yourselves? Go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Albert. They know me as Big John over here.
What's up, guys? My name's Rocco.
All right. So just to give you guys some background info, the Albert and Rocco, they both play soccer. One plays for a travel team, one plays for his college team. So we figured for today's episode we would give you guys a little inside look onto what it's like to be part of those teams. Also, we wanted to give you guys a preview of the FA Cup. Albert, the Arsenal fan, he's very excited to lose to Frank Lampard's Chelsea.
What? Get
So,
out of
yeah.
here! Get out of here!
Yeah, that's what we have in store for you guys today.
And
Go ahead, Tico.
no, I was just gonna say that Rocco's a Dortmund fan. That's
Uh,
all.
We want to talk
Yeah,
about Bundesliga. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that yet.
He's a very special guy.
Right.
We gotta treat him nicely. We don't want to hurt his feelings.
I mean, when you lose Sancho, you can't blame him.
When you lose players all these years, you could think you have such a nice team. You get hurt.
Hold up. Wait. Let's keep this soccer talk for after our questions about your guys. The athletes,
Yeah, of course.
So
Go ahead, Junior.
Yeah. I mean, initially, I just wanted to get to Rocco. Rocco, like, so you play for. You want to talk about which team you play for, what school,
Right. So I play for Brooklyn College. It's a CUNY school in New York, and they're in Division 3 right now. It's the lowest division in the NCAA. I play forward. My number is 21, and I got
Score
the pay.
goals?
Yeah, that last season was not a good season for me since it was my transfer year, so I transferred from City Tech, and I came into Brooklyn College. So I came in as the first year as a player. I only had 2 goals, so was not that good as I wanted it. But we did reach the quarterfinal. Still, we have a lot of room of improvement for hopefully next season. It happens, in the spring, like they're talking about right now. But I have very high hopes for the team.
Okay.
So, what's it like? We'll start from the beginning. Tryouts. What's that like? If you had to give someone a rundown of what trying out for a college team was like, what would you tell them?
All right, so basically, tryouts start in August for us. I know for other schools, they have the captain has a team tryout before August, which would be June and July, would be the whole summer. But we have it right away in August. We have a whole team training in August. So when I came last year, basically, I went to the coach before the season started, and the coach told me I have to get a medical first. I have to fill out paperwork for NCAA, and then I am ready to start training. So once I get all the paperwork done, the whole NCAA paperwork would be basically you cannot sell any pictures of players. You cannot make any income from your playing in college, basically. So that's a lot of the paperwork like in NCAA. And then we had the medical. The medical is pretty straightforward. It wasn't that, complex as it would be in a professional team. It would be just some motor tests. They check your eyesight, they check your breathing, they check your heart rate, they make sure that you're able to be fit to play, to run. And once you get all that clear, you end up going to the tryouts, which will be the first week of college.
So real quick, I just want to obviously we're gonna get into Albert and travel team much more later on, but just a real quick question for Albert: do you have to go through like a medical process like that too for a travel team, or is it a little?
So for travel teams here in New York, not really.
Wait,
You
hold
don't
up,
have to
hold up.
do all
Before we
that.
start, Albert, say what team do you play for, right? You didn't say
So
where you play for.
I used to play for Brooklyn Italians. I played with them for 9, 10 plus years, and this year was supposed to be my last year, but Corona messed everything up. But yeah,
Mhm.
Brooklyn represent.
So there's no like medical process or anything like that in travel teams. Probably just a checkup with your doctor or something like that, right?
Yeah, you just have to sign a form. Everything is good. What allergies you have, and then you just give it away.
Okay.
Can I ask Rocco a couple questions? Because when he was talking about it, one, medicals. When I think of medicals, I think of like the spectacular. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
when there's a new player like Manchester United, let's say Pogba. Pogba did his medical. Is it like that? Is it like that? Like crazy? You know what I'm saying? Or is it just
Mm,
like just a regular thing?
I wish it would be like, you go in the medical, they take pictures of you running, it's your thumbs up, but unfortunately it's not like that. So there's basically, I don't know how they do it in other divisions, in Division 1 or Division 2, but I know in Brooklyn College in Division 3, we basically have our own clinic, our own athletes clinic inside the school,
Oh
and
wow.
all of us have to go in that clinic, and they make us do tests. Again, like I said, the motor tests. They check your heart rate. They check, if you have any diseases, and also before you even enter, you have to fill out paperwork, make sure, if you have any previous injuries, any previous diseases, or anything that can hurt the team, they need to know, right?
Yeah.
Fortunately, I was good, so I had no previous injuries, no previous diseases, so I was fine. And then you move on with the motor test, but I'm pretty sure that, from now on, ever since this Corona thing, there's going to be more tests. And,
Wow.
hopefully they put more
All right.
funding in Division 3 for coronavirus tests, because I
Yeah.
feel like because the Division 3 does not have that much money, or I should say
Yeah.
CUNY schools do
Yeah.
not have that much money on testing for Division 3 teams. I feel like that's what set it back to move the season in the spring, which is a rumor. It's not true yet. Hopefully, it's
No
true.
insider
But
info.
yeah, yeah. This is straight from.
ITK.
I don't want to talk that much more. I don't want to give more away. But that's all I'm gonna say right now. Hopefully, in the spring, we'll have a season.
That's that's a really interesting point that you brought up, especially now during this pandemic. Now you look at like other sports. I mean, specifically soccer, how they're doing all this empty stadiums, empty this, empty that. You're right. I think there needs to be more funding, especially to lower divisions,
Yeah,
let alone Division 1, where soccer in a collegial soccer in America isn't as big as it is in terms of like football or basketball or other stuff like that.
yeah.
So that's a really interesting point that you brought up. Another thing that I wanted to ask you is when you were talking about signing that thing about for the NCAA where you're not supposed to like sell your likability, like selling photos and like stuff like that. How do you feel about collegial athletes getting paid?
I was they had news on that early in the year on them on the NCAA
Mm-hmm.
having that rule changed
Yeah,
to us making some income.
yeah,
Obviously, in the lower division, you're not gonna make as much as
yeah.
Division 1,
Exactly.
but it would actually work a lot because some people in teams, they have to pay for school. They don't get financial aid. They actually have to pay for these classes.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, just getting that type of income would really help, would really benefit, the athlete, would take some pressure
100%.
off because you have
100%.
all these classes, you have to focus on your season, you have to be in practice, you have a lot of stress
Yeah,
in that season. So that will pull off some stress if they start paying the athletes in college.
yeah.
It will really help a lot.
It's really interesting from your point of view, being like, of course, like I said before, about the big names collegial sports like football, basketball. Like, of course, they
Yeah.
should be getting paid, but I wanted to hear from the point of view of Division 3. You know, I
Yeah.
what's like. Are there any players on your team that are on the team with a full scholarship?
No,
Oh,
Division 3 does not have, no, not Division 3, I'm sorry. CUNY schools do not offer scholarships
you see?
for uh like
Sports,
sport sport
athletics.
Sports.
scholarships.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do not
yeah.
offer that,
See,
unfortunately.
mhm,
That's the difference between,
yeah,
Division 3 and Division 1, for example. Completely
exactly,
different.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like how, like I think you guys should be getting paid at the end of the day. How much it is, I don't know. That's not my job.
Whatever it
How
is will
how
be the best, will
it's
be good.
it's better than nothing. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
it's just really because I when I was younger, of course, when you're younger, you change your like opinions on stuff. When I was younger, I used to say, "Oh, why should these college athletes be getting paid for what? They have a full scholarship. They have a better opportunity than majority of people to get an education in this." But as I grow up and I think about it more, and I think about it like how like you should be paid for what you do because you looked at back in the day they were made of so many they make the NCAA make so much money exploiting college athletes. It's an insane business and
yeah.
it's not right. And even down to you guys, Division. I, I don't know if you know, but do you think the college are making money from you guys or like or not? They would
I
be making some, I would think, right?
I nah, I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so.
You
I
don't
don't think
charge
so.
people for tickets or anything like that to come to a game?
No, no. All the games, basically, everybody comes. No, nobody has to pay anything. You just come in, you watch, you sit down and watch the game. There's no, you don't
Yeah.
have to pay anything.
So yeah. So that's like when it gets to like a slippery slope in
Yeah.
terms of collegiate athletes getting paid. Now,
Yeah,
if you look at an example of like the WNBA, there's such an outrage of the women, the female athletes saying, "Oh, why don't we get paid for like similar to the NBA players?" But it's also supply and demand. It's how many people watch the game. And now you as a Division 3 athlete, you say nobody actually comes. So it's very interesting because I really don't know like how if they do make some sort of money from you guys. So that's a different
Yeah. It's
that's a different
something.
discussion. Different.
I'm sure there's like a statistical breakdown that every school has to do to where they
Yeah,
like can afford a player or not. Something like that.
yeah,
Albert, you're encouraged to ask any questions as well. We're gonna
yeah,
get to you
100%.
later
I was
soon,
gonna
like,
say that.
as soon as we get through
Yeah.
So
Rocco and
one
stuff like
question I have for Rocco is, how do you like? A lot of people might be listening to this. How do you balance school and like being a college athlete? Because whatever division you are, you still have to dedicate a lot of time out of your
Yeah,
day. So how
that's
do
a
you
great
manage
question.
that?
it is. It's so nerve-wracking. Like I remember, last semester I had to cut down a lot of work hours, so I would only work on the weekends in the morning to make some money. But I had class from the morning. I had class from the morning until 12 o'clock. From 12 o'clock until I would say about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I was eating, having lunch. Because I had practice from 3:30 until 6:30.
yeah,
After that, we would have practice. You go to the locker room, you change up, you shower. You
hmm
have to go. I had class right after that, so I had class until 9:30 at night,
yeah,
and it drains you so much, and especially as the season progresses, it's like you get to the championship rounds, and you're
yeah,
thinking about you're in class, you have a game day, and you're thinking about the game, and you're like, man, like I really want to win this game,
that,
and sometimes it takes you off from uh from class, you know, but
yeah,
you have to know how to manage it. That's the best thing about being an athlete. Being an athlete in college, I think really helps you a lot later on in life and as at work in your job. You have so much pressure. You learn how to handle that pressure in a very professional way, which I think a lot of jobs really look for athletes that were playing in college. It's a big plus in my opinion. It's a
that's
very big
yeah,
plus. So, but it's very nerve wracking, but
that's
it's manageable, very manageable.
yeah. That's insane. I'm just thinking about you. You also said people that work, now
Yeah,
managing, work, school, sports. That's just insane, and
yeah,
I respect that a lot. Honestly, I really do.
we had people that were in our team that are like 25 years old, and obviously they had a full-time job also, also going to
Yeah,
school.
yeah,
So sometimes, I felt bad for them because they had to miss a lot of games for work, because
yeah,
they're working full time. Work is not here in New York. It's more about work than sports.
yeah,
It's
yeah, for
different
sure.
in other states. In other states, sports is a very it's a liability.
Yeah,
Very big there. But here in New
yeah,
York, it's very different. Work, you have to go to work. You have to
yeah,
make money. You have to survive.
yeah.
So I felt really bad for them. They had to leave. They had to miss practice. They had to miss games, important games too. And it did hurt the team, but we did still manage. Somehow we still did manage. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's very nerve wracking. That's the main word for it.
Rocco, I got
Make it.
another question for you.
Yes.
So you're talking about all these things, right? Somebody might be listening to this and say, "Why the hell would I want to play Division 3 college?" So I want to ask you, like, why do you play Division 3 college? Like, why do you decide to take on this this massive workload just for a few months? Like, what payoff do you get from it?
I mean, listen. For me, everybody has a different story, but for me, it's just I have a lot of passion for the sport. So I've been playing the sport since I was 5 years old.
Sick.
I've gotten really serious about it when I started, playing at 12, like legit for a team. But it's just I love the sport so much, and I love playing. I love playing, and playing for college is very exciting. Very competitive. I like competitiveness. I like being very competitive with other schools. I like getting in there very uh very hard headed. Inside the game. You guys know this. I'm very hard headed.
Yeah,
When I play,
Yeah.
but just being in a game situation, you're playing for a championship, for example, you're playing in the quarterfinal, or I'll give you an example where we had a game where we had to win to make the quarterfinal. So it was against York
yeah,
College. It's like you have so many nerves. It's like being a professional. You have all these people come up inside the field. They're all cheering and stuff. It's so
yeah.
exciting. I love that. It's very competitive. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and you just
I,
forget about everything that's going on in your life. You forget about it. You go, you play your heart, and it's so amazing, so competitive. We
out,
ended up tying that game, but it helped us. That 1 point helped us make the quarterfinal. It was a
Mm-hmm.
very good game, but again, it's only because I love playing, and that's why I do it. That's why I go and play for college, even if it's Division 3, even if it's a
outside
low
Yeah.
division.
outside of just passion, do you also like do you also think you have an intent of like where you think college can give you that platform of going pro? Do you think, I guess in a way I want to ask, do you think college soccer, whether it be Division 3, 2, 1, um is a good path to pro, let's say a path to the MLS or something like that?
Or
Uh,
USL as well.
You yeah,
USL
USL.
as well. Honestly, I think in some aspects it's a good pass. In some aspects it's not. I'll tell you why. I think it's a good aspect because, for example, for USL, if you play for a Division 1 team and you're doing very good, for example, you have very good stats, coaches will see that. It is very hard. It is very hard to get a hold of a coach and get his attention in USL or MLS. It's all about connections. So you gotta know
Yeah.
people who know coaches, who know staff, who know players, in order to make some noise, to tell them, yo, listen, I got this kid, very good, played for college D1, For D3, for example, it is way harder because, again, it's a lower division and it doesn't really get watched upon.
Yeah.
But the bad aspect, I think, is because if you compare the leagues from America to for in Europe, for example, for college, you could be 25 years old and you could be playing college level. Now, college level is only 3 months of playing. In Europe, it's all year round. You know, you only get a
Yeah.
couple of weeks off in the summer, and then
Yeah.
you get right back to it. In college, it's not like that. It's 3 months of playing. You know, you get your championship, whatnot. You get the regional championship, and then you move on to the bigger tournament until December, January, whenever, whatnot. But after that, it's like you have break, and then you know, it's like you lose interest, you know, until
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
season. You know,
Yeah.
that's only if you get lucky, if you go so far. You know, unfortunately for Brooklyn College, we didn't get that lucky. We did lose in a quarterfinal. We didn't fit. We finished in November. After that, you're like, man, I don't know what to do now. You know, like I want to play, but I can't play competitive. You know, and it's very hard. It's different. It's completely different.
Yeah.
I think the system is not right, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the system is not right. It's not
Yeah.
there. They need to fix the system and
Absolutely.
making
100%.
players play more, not just players that have money, for example. You know, especially
Yeah.
you know, for you, Albert. You know that you're playing travel. There's players that you know that don't have the money to play for a travel. You know, so they play in college. You know, it's free.
Yeah.
But then in college, it's not the same as a travel team. You know that you can get scouted, you can get seen. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
completely different. I think the system is it needs a lot of fixing, especially with the talent that we have in America. So much talent, unbelievable
Sure.
talent.
Absolutely. We're a nation of 300 million people. You're telling me you can't find 11 players for that
You
field?
can't win the, you can't
Come on
even
now.
make the next stage in a World Cup. Come on, man. Like you
I-
gotta
Well,
do better.
even making the World Cup, but I
US
like
US
you
US
gave.
soccer has a lot to do.
I was gonna ask how do you feel about like I was exactly what you're saying. I was saying like the system. Like if you look at traditional soccer systems in Europe and South America, there isn't really like like how they do education. Then to a professional team, it's a youth system, the youth academy. From there, that's how they branch up. That's the difference between here in America, where it's collegial. In MLS, they have an MLS draft where they draft the top people from colleges.
Right.
So like you said, I think there definitely should be a uh, system change in America. Like you said, from the youth level to
Yep.
travel team, like Albert is, and also education. Like
Right.
from when I was in middle school, I don't think we even had a soccer team.
No.
We
Yep.
didn't.
That's
No.
Same.
We didn't have a
We
Same
didn't
soccer.
even
thing.
have it as a sport in school.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
So so like not just about the youth academy, because if you look at clubs like the club, my MLS team that I support, New York City FC, they have one of the most renowned academies in America. You go look at who's come from it. Gio Reyna in Dortmund, your club. He's come from
Yep.
New York City FC. James Sands. I forgot his name right now, but he just went to Mönchengladbach. Jack Harrison now plays for Leeds. That just recently got
Yep.
promoted.
I left them. Yep.
He was the first pick for NYCFC. But regardless, now NYCFC are going ahead of the curve. Now MLS clubs as well, their youth academies need to step up to the European level, as well as the education system has to step up to like bring soccer especially to America, branch it and make it bigger than what it is.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So,
More advertising
There's good news.
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
There's good news on that. They've scrapped the whole youth system. They just scrapped it this year in
They did
Corona.
that
And
recently.
they said no more. No more pay to play. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. They've realized. You could see the
Absolutely.
United States national team.
Finally.
You could see from
They-
there. You could see from
Okay,
there.
hold up,
That's
time
a
out.
reflection of the youth system.
Can I say something? Guess what? Are the top American talents playing in America?
No,
no.
Nope.
No.
Pulisic.
Nope.
Where's he playing? Played at
Pulisic,
Dortmund, now Chelsea.
Josh Sargent, Timothy Weah, Weston McKinney, Tyler Adams, John Brooks.
Even-
They're not playing in
Even our
America.
legend, Donovan. Even he played in
Yeah.
England.
Clint Dempsey. And
Tim
then
Howard.
you think about the players that are suspect on the U.S. national team, like Michael Bradley, Omar Gonzalez, Josie Altidore. Where are they playing? In MLS. So it just goes to show the level that that American sports, because to bring American sports, soccer, apologies, American soccer up, you have to bring the league up.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
have to.
That's a
But
point I
there's
want to
a
make.
problem with that.
Go ahead, Rocco. Go ahead.
I think that there's a problem because of all these players are going to Europe, especially Germany, the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
You have all these. You can have all these players in America. The ones that are playing in travel teams. That are 20, 19, 18. They're gonna go in Germany. That have all these scouting agencies. They have all these. The third division or the fourth division in Germany. And all these American players are gonna go there, and they're gonna play for those teams. Hopefully, have a good chance there. Trying to get scouted in the Bundesliga, and not help the MLS here that's getting the older players from Europe to come play in America.
But exactly. But the point of what I'm saying is that the MLS is not up to par with the other league in terms of development.
It's a retirement home. It's a
I want to
retirement
make
home.
Basically.
it is, and I want to make a point that, and this will transition into Albert because it relates to travel teams. I think the root of the problem in America is the relegation and promotion and how it's missing in soccer. Because, and again, when we get to Albert, you're gonna see that there is no way there's no ambition in American
100%.
sports to go, because why do you need scouts in America when a player in the USL, no USL team needs scouts, because guess what? They're not going to move. They're going to stay in whatever division they're in. MLS, they have their scouts, but they don't need to see outside. If you don't allow the bottom teams to have the ambition to go up, then there's no players who, as Rocco said, you have players that play for the love of the game, for the passion.
100%.
When you put 11 players with passion on the field, you get miracles. Look at Leicester. It happened a few years ago. That's all you need, and you will get miracles. But there is no room for miracles in American soccer. And Albert, to transition to you, I just want to ask, how about you just give us a rundown of what it's like to be on a travel team, how it's been from a young age and stuff like that.
So the best thing about being in a travel team, especially when I came here from Albania, is that you get to meet people. You get to meet kids your age. You get I didn't speak English, but I knew how to play soccer. That's how I communicated.
Yeah.
That's how I met you. Remember my second practice, I met you over there.
Yep.
That's the beauty of sports.
Yep.
Yeah.
All around. Yep.
So the best positive side about our system right now is that kids get to grow up. That's one thing I like. My best experience was growing up with these players. They're like my close friends right now. But the thing I've noticed is, because I went to play in Italy in the professional tournament, you just get to see the level, the gap over there.
You played in Viareggio, right?
Yes, correct.
Which is a very well-known tournament. Props to you for getting through there. Do you think that opportunities like that are missing in the U.S.? Look, you had to go overseas for an opportunity like that, for a tournament that we know Viareggio has produced super talents. Do you think the U.S. is missing tournaments like that?
100%. They have these tournaments, in Dallas Cup. They have all of these, but you have to be in these DP, development programs. You got to be in academies.
That's what they just scrapped, right? That's the academies that they just scrapped.
Good.
But to be in those academies, you have to pay $5,000 a year. Well, for being in Brooklyn Italians, where I can't go there, it's $1,500. And a lot of people who don't have the money, they're gonna choose Brooklyn Italians.
Bullshit.
Absolutely.
It's bullshit.
Well,
stuff like that
shouldn't be like that.
But
stuff like that. Good. That I hate that. You look at even the foreign players that came. I think Zlatan, when he was in MLS, he said himself. He said this system is absolutely horrendous,
outrageous.
That it's all about money, and that's the thing about American sports, soccer, football, whatever. It's based on That's why, in my opinion, I think soccer is the best sport in the world. It's the best sport in the world because it stays true to its core values. Now, in America, and at the end of the day, regardless of what you say, sports is $1 million business. And in America, it's all about the money. Soccer is not like that. That's why you see America dominating sports.
Every sport, by the way.
Everything else besides soccer.
Yep.
Let me tell you a story.
Difference.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but so last season for Brooklyn Italians, we went undefeated the whole season, won the championship in the first time, in a long time, and we went to nationals. But when that winning team, out of the 11 starters, about like 8 of them couldn't pay the price of the club. And we had club officials coming to us and saying, either you pay or you gotta get the hell out of here. But our coach knew that if we left the team, there's no point, So he tried to work out a deal, but it just goes to show it's not about winning trophies. It's not about advancing. It's not about building your club name. It's just you got the money. All right, good. And there's so many good players that I've met a lot of great players who just don't have the money, and then they give up on soccer.
Absolutely. I've met so many players that when you go and play out in the street, when we go play with each other, there's so many players out there that you see them play and you're just like, the talent that's there is massive. And they always tell you the same story. Yeah, I tried out for a team, but the money wasn't there. I couldn't really play there. We have plenty of friends that are super talented that just don't join travel teams because they don't have the money that's there. They just can't do it.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially in New York,
100%.
Especially
in New York because it's a business. But going back to what you said, especially in New York, where there's so much culture, there's so much different diversities, where they're immigrants. They came from countries where soccer is the biggest sport, and now not being able to give it, they're not being given the opportunity. And it goes back to what you said about the promotion and relegation. Now, if a team, let's just say there's in our neighborhood around here, I'm gonna just say Brooklyn FC. If there's a team like Brooklyn FC, and they start out in the USL League 2, players like me, you, Albert, Rocco, we go to that team. We train our asses off. We're all talented as hell. We move the team up. We move it to the MLS, and we're given the opportunity to showcase our talent in multiple leagues with multiple competition. With multiple better now that the competition is what drives sports. Like Rocco said, the competitiveness. When there's more competition, you become better. Simple.
Absolutely.
With no relegation and no promotion, that eliminates everything else.
Personally, when I played on a travel team, I looked at it because I knew there was nowhere to go. We were promised tournaments, we never won. I looked at it as a hobby, something to fill my time with.
Yes.
I never. When I went to training, I'll be honest. I went to training. I have a half-assed ethic. I was lazy. I'll be honest. I didn't care. I went there to play soccer, shoot the ball around, pass the ball around. Now, if you told me, if your team starts winning, you guys go to this division, and then maybe you get promoted to the men's team of your team, maybe I would have put in that effort. There's a lot of kids who they know there's nowhere to go. I saw no reason for me to put in any effort. I'm not saying it as an excuse, but you know what I mean. Like, there was and a lot of people have that mentality.
I don't blame you. Actually, I do blame you a bit, but a little bit. But whatever. But like you said, there's no, how do I say it? Passion.
No incentive.
There's no motivation.
There's no passion anymore.
Well, I want to add on to that, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, go. Continue. Okay.
No. Go. You're the guest. Come on now.
Thank you. So the whole relegation promotion thing, that spreads the money all around. It gives a lot of people opportunities.
Exactly.
So even if, let's say Rocco's amazing player, he gets scouted by USL team, he's going to go there, he's going to realize after a while the pay isn't that great. The team can't get promoted, they can't compensate the players fairly. So eventually the day is going to come, he's not going to hit his peak in soccer. He's going to say, I got to leave, I got to get a proper job, I got to support myself.
Yeah.
So this whole relegation thing and promotion thing, it's not spreading the money. It's all stuck at the top.
Exactly. It's greed. Simple as that. That at the end of the day, it's that. It's business. And business.
That's where passion's lost. That's where competitiveness is lost.
That's what you see.
Nobody wants to play. We lose a game. Who cares next year? In other league in other countries, you get your ass beat. You get the fans.
Yeah.
cursing your name. They want you out of the club.
Go look
Your
at
your
Sporting.
job's online. You know what
Go
I'm
look at
saying?
Sporting. The
Huh,
Sporting fans ran into the training center
and
and
started
Yeah,
beating up
almost
players.
beating up the players, where the club literally gave them, "Yo, we'll waive your contract and you can go wherever you want."
Yeah,
yeah,
That's another country.
yeah,
So the
that's
yeah.
that's the passion. That's it.
it's
No,
funny. The
that's
funniest
it.
part is, as a kid, you don't understand this stuff. I can remember when I was a kid and the U.S. got knocked out of the World Cup, I started crying, and my dad was like, "What are you crying for? The U.S. isn't headed anywhere. They'll lose this year. They'll lose every year because there's nothing there. They've got
Yeah.
nowhere to go."
But you
And
know what it
now that
is?
I'm older,
Yeah.
the U.S. loses. I'm like, I'm sad. Obviously, I wish they go to the World Cup, win 20
Yeah.
of them, but it's not gonna happen.
But you know what it is? You can't tell me there's no passion in American sports. You can't.
There is.
There is
Go look
passion.
at college. Go look at college
Yeah.
football.
Not
They
even that.
have
Look at the travel teams.
stadiums, travel teams. When we went to New York Cosmos, Yoni,
Ooh,
what was
yeah.
they were bringing out
Yeah.
flares, and it was small groups
Players.
for the passions
We
there.
had one of our friends run
Okay,
onto the field. It's fun. It's fun.
there's passion within the fans, but it's about on top.
Up there.
If they have it and they care,
At the end of
which
the
they don't.
day, you're gonna be happy, but you're gonna realize like whatever. At the end of the day, nothing's moving. So
Nothing. It's not. But listen. Hopefully, I think a big change will happen if there's the World Cup in America.
I hope so.
In 20, I don't know, when was it, 2026? If there's a World Cup in
Yeah.
America, I think there's going to be
2026.
such a different, the whole climate, the whole landscape is going to change in America, and it's going to be a pivotal part in the future of U.S. football, soccer.
Out of curiosity,
So
since that's a sorry,
No, I think
a
it's all
dual.
of North America, right? I think
No, it's
Canada,
it's
United States, and
U.S.
Mexico.
Is it all three? Do they
I
all
think
Yeah,
it's,
all
qualify?
three.
Do
All
they
three.
all
yeah,
qualify automatically?
I
Majority.
think so.
Yeah, maybe. I
yeah, I
think
think
so.
I'll have to
Not
I,
sure.
qualify.
no?
They all qualify? See, I didn't know.
Yeah.
What were
But
you gonna
yo,
say,
think
Albert?
about
But
this.
what?
The finals in New York. The finals gonna be MetLife.
Yeah, I'm
Imagine
trying to
that.
be there. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
Imagine
I'll book
that.
my ticket today if they offered it. But Albert, what were you gonna say before I cut you off?
I think the one thing that needs to change, of course, the relegation or whatever, but I think the attitude needs to change. Because when I want to bring it back to the Viareggio thing, I thought I was the shit when I was in my team. Like, I was aggressive, I was fit, like I was training hard. I was the peak of my fitness. I went over there, like the guys that I met, because we brought some, Italian players, some English players, and like my attitude was here. I thought I was the shit. Their attitudes up
Yeah,
here. They were fighting.
yeah,
They were fighting.
yeah,
I was, I thought I was the shit. They were fighting. They knew what was going on, and
yeah,
their fitness. Oh my god! When I tell you, so we played Empoli, play all the Serie A, B teams. When I tell you, like all of them 11 players could be starters, it's like, god damn. Like there's no disparage in the talent level. Here in the U.S., you got the best 11 players, and
yeah,
there's a big drop off when you go to the bench.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like you
It's
said,
Because
sad.
different
because
level.
the attitude is if I don't perform, they take away my contract. I can't provide. It's
Yep.
life and death for them.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you know where that starts. The attitude. You know where that starts. Because I'm also a coach for little kids, right? I coach soccer, right? The whole attitude situation where the player needs to know what's important when you're playing, that a win is very important, and
yeah,
obviously you need to score to win, and championships are important. It all starts with the attitude, but before the attitude is with the coach. The coach needs to set
yeah,
that as a youth.
yeah,
The youth it all matters with the youth system. If the youth system is good, you're
yeah,
already on the roll. You're already on a
yeah,
good roll. It
yeah.
starts with that. You get that attitude, you set that
But
attitude in the kid, you do really good work later on.
but okay, but you're right. But don't you think that's a problem throughout football, regardless of just in America? If you look at the players of this generation to compare to the players of the last generation, you know, there's a huge gap. For example, the inter teams of Jose Mourinho.
I knew you were gonna. I was about to say, here
11
comes the Jose Mourinho fan.
I love Jose. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. 11 players on that pitch would die on that pitch to win. And I'm getting passionate right now because I love it. I love
Okay.
that. That's why I love
Okay.
Jose.
You're right.
Right.
In
Alex
America,
Ferguson.
tell me, Fergie, those players would die on the pitch. It's multiple teams, not
Forget
just, but
the
I
pitch.
use that for example.
Arsenal
Those players
04,
would die
like,
for Fergie
that
outside
era.
of it.
They would die
That
for him.
era.
They would die for to win. So now look at football now. You can't, besides maybe Atletico Madrid. That's the only team you can tell me that's even close to them when it comes to passion and having the right attitude to as a collective.
Yeah,
Not
but can you
in-
tell me? Can you tell me who the coach of Atletico is, and tell me what his coaching style is like, and then
Right here, Simeone.
compare me him to, for example, I don't know, man.
Mikel Arteta.
Dortmund. Okay, even better. Arteta. Okay, Arteta. Compare Atletico's coach with Arteta, please, and then tell me where the attitude starts.
Exactly.
So
It's from the coach.
let me tell you something.
Simeone is a pit bull.
Okay. Exactly.
Let me tell
But
you
guess
something.
what?
Let me tell
Let
you.
Albert- let Albert say
No. You guys don't bring Mikel Arteta saying like he doesn't bring in the attitude. But he's changed the attitude. The attitude, like the attitude is shit in Arsenal because of Emery. Mikel Arteta turned it around. So don't compare Mikel Arteta.
Can
I
I
meant
tell
to
you?
say. I meant
Alright.
to
Just
say
say
Emery.
one
Can I tell you
more
something,
word.
Albert?
I
Albert,
meant to
can
say
tell you
Emery. I
Let me
forgot
say
that they changed managers. Same
something?
quality.
Would you call Wenger? Did Wenger bring in a bad attitude? Because there's no difference between Arsenal when Wenger was there to when Unai Emery was there to not for nothing. I'm sorry, bro. You as an Arsenal fan, you're gonna be hopeful, okay? But guess what?
Listen,
What attitude?
listen. Let me tell you something. The players that Arsenal had at the end of his reign, they weren't the best, but they had the correct attitude. They weren't the best players. They couldn't
He has a
perform
good point.
with the likes of Man U, Man City, but they had that right attitude. Emery, when he came in, he was doing good. We went on an unbeaten streak for 20 games. But then it started
Yeah.
falling apart after Crystal Palace, and you saw what happened in Europa League final. We got demolished, and then that led on into the new season. Remember, Jaka, he said "F you" to the fans.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the dressing room was falling apart.
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta, he turned it around. You know, so don't
Okay,
shit
but-
on Mikel
okay.
Arteta. That's all I gotta say.
No,
I'm not
Arsenal's in better
shitting on
shape now.
Mikel Arteta. They are in better shape, and I respect what Arteta's done with the talent on hand. The problem, what I think about Arsenal is what the board is going to do, what the people on top are going to do. But that's we're gonna hold that conversation because we're going to talk about the FA Cup in a bit. But back to what I said, the attitude of players are different now, regardless. I think the difference is social media. Social media changed the perspective of a lot of these players nowadays. I think players nowadays are so much better physically for some reason. I don't know
100%.
what the hell they're eating because I think maybe, in my opinion, what I think is the advancement of technology, especially in sports, have made athletes use every single freaking skin particle to be faster, better, stronger. But it's not. They don't have the same mentality of the players back in the old days.
Lingard.
And I'm not even going to say old days. It's 10 years ago. Yeah.
Let me
So
add on
Like
to that.
Lingard.
Like
Come
you
on,
said,
man.
the social media, and I think that's a big part to play with it because now when you see young players, they go on Ronaldo's page, they see a Bugatti, they're like, "Wow, if I become a soccer player, I get to have a Bugatti." They don't think if I
The
want to
work.
play for Juventus, play in front of those fans. Like when you look at Man U, like Man U fans, they're like they would have died for the badge. You rarely saw the
100%.
glamour. Yes, they did get paid a lot.
Yeah.
But you don't see them in those fancy cars a lot. But now
Yeah.
in social media, you see like all the fancy girls, the money, the fame,
Yeah.
they don't.
100%.
The important thing is missing.
It's not only athletes though. You got to think of it like this. It's the whole world. I mean, that's a different
Social.
topic, but
Sure.
it's
Yeah,
the
100%.
whole. It's every human
100%.
being. You know,
Yeah.
you get discouraged or or you get excited just by going
Yeah.
on Instagram, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you see someone You see someone, working out and stuff, and you're like, damn, I want that body, and you start working out, or it can have a negative effect. It can discourage you, Maybe,
Yeah.
it's for everybody, not just
The
athletes.
influencer era of
Yeah,
the world.
which is
Yeah.
it's AIDS. It's AIDS. But
Yeah.
exactly. I don't want to get off topic because we're a sports podcast. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
I
global
wanna say-
shirts versus skins episodes.
Listen, maybe one day. But social media is an illusion. It's not real life. But let's go back to sports. You're right. I think in football nowadays, it's just there's definitely, if you look at back in the day, if you look at the Milan teams, you look at the Manchester United teams, you look at I don't know, give me the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas of the past. And I look at the teams nowadays and I look at the best teams. I'm like, dude, these teams cannot even hang with them. They would not even hang with them. When Liverpool fans are saying this Liverpool team is the best Premier League team of all time,
What a joke.
no,
What a joke.
nah.
No.
Simple.
Not even close.
No.
And I wish Ahmed was here because Ahmed would argue that with me. And I would say it at the end of the day. Like I said, you look at the 1999 team, the United team when we were in the trouble. They look at the team and they'd be like, oh, but Sadio Mane, Salah, they'll run rampant on them. No way. When you
They'll
got
break
guys
their legs, man.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when you got guys like
They
Dwight
would
York,
break their legs.
Enzo, Scholes, Beckham, Gary Neville, Yam
Keane
Sam,
wasn't it?
Schmeichel, Keane. No way. They can't even hang out.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
that Salah injury in the Champions League final, no discredit to Salah, great player. I guarantee you, players back then would have played through it.
Hell yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
You
So-
see
Ever seen
Scholes
Roy
making
Keane?
passes across. Roy Keane? You can cut his arm off and he'd still be playing. He'd show
When
you
was the
his
last time
limb
you
and be
saw-
like,
So
When
the
was the last time
attitude
you guys
of
saw
football,
Vidic
Vidic?
putting his
Yeah.
face in front of the foot? Like, when was the last time you saw that?
Jones did it.
Okay, Jones is, please, man. We don't
I know,
talk
but you see
about
players
that.
nowadays, like, I gotta protect my face. I don't want to get hurt. Players back then, they'll literally play for the badge. I mean, I don't have a badge here,
you
but
know what
you
it
get what I'm
is?
saying.
It's funny about when it was United versus West Ham, and people were telling how Pogba should have just gotten his face nose broken by the ball by Declan Rice when they gave the penalty. And I'm like, okay, I understand that mentality. We're talking about like players would die for the ball, but yo, don't you think it's like a natural reaction? You know what I'm saying?
No, but he had a
If
lot
the
of
ball
time. He had a lot of
comes in-
time.
Yeah, and in slow motion when you see it, yeah, he has a lot of time, but in real
That was a
time,
lot of
dude, you
space.
can't.
A lot of
Oh,
time. He
my-
could have ducked. He could have.
Whatever, dude.
Like, it's understandable. I'm saying
Nah, it's a
understandable,
reflex, yeah.
right? And that's why he didn't get the yellow card. That's why he didn't get the yellow card. But I'm saying, like, a player of his caliber, of his like
It's a
training, because
But he's not like a defender.
No,
No.
he's right.
I'm
It's
saying he's not a
it could be
defender.
reflex, but he did have time.
Let's say
I
if it was
think-
Maguire with his big head, that shit
He
would have
would've
went
went
out
for
the
it?
stadium. Of course, you would have went for it. And the
Tico.
ball would have went out the stadium.
Kiko, can I ask you
Yeah.
something?
100%.
Was Maguire worth it? Was the Maguire worth it?
All right, this is going to be our transition into football talk. Was Maguire worth it?
No, just say no. There's no reason to go into it.
Absolutely. Was
No.
he worth it? Absolutely.
What are you
defend that
saying?
to the head. As a
Absolutely.
As
Manchester
a
United
United fan, I can
I'll
never
explain
say that.
I'll explain it. You know why? Because one, I think he's overpaid. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue that he's overpaid. I think a lot of players nowadays are overpaid. You look at Nathan Ake this morning going to City for $40 million.
Overpaid or the fee is too much? I'm
The
confused.
fee is too
Too
much.
much money
Okay.
floating around.
Transfer. I apologize. Not specifically his wages.
Wait,
but,
Yes,
the
you
transfer.
better apologize.
Nathan
Confused.
Ake going for $40 million from a team
do
that
you
just
think
got
that's
relegated.
overpaid? You think that's overpaid?
That
for
is
a
over.
Man City
for,
team.
for Nathan Ake.
I don't think so.
Relegation
I don't think
players
so.
used to go for
They've
10
spent
mil
400
max.
million.
I
Ake's
don't
a
think
great
so.
400
player.
million since Pep
I'm
came.
not gonna attack the player because I think people don't. People need to distance the fee to the performances on the pitch. Okay, Nathan Ake is a great player. The fee for a team that just got relegated and conceded how many goals in the Premier League? That's overpaid.
God knows.
I think he's a very good player and he fits the system. But back to
I don't think so. I really don't.
Maguire's overpaid. But go look at the goals conceded from last year to this year. Go look at
There's
the
an
amount of clean
improvement
sheets from this
there.
year. A massive improvement. So
Okay,
why am I
can I ask you a
would I
question?
not say he's not worth it?
Can I ask you a question? And we
He's
had
worth
this
it.
conversation.
He did his
We've
job.
had this
He did.
conversation.
He
Wait,
did.
do you not think that there's enough center backs out there that you could get for 30 mil that can easily do Maguire's job?
How much? How much?
But you
Upamecano?
say
How
that
much
in
was he?
Upamecano's like 50
50
mil.
mil.
But wait, you have a player like Tarkowski, who's a proven defender, who at one point Burnley, okay, don't laugh, because at one point Burnley was
Not
one of the best defensive sides in the league. You could get him
different
for
style of play,
30
bro.
mil. You get him for 30 mil.
But
And
also,
okay,
but
he's not
also,
going to be
guess
Maguire
what?
level, but he's still good.
Exactly. But okay, you pay him for 30 million. We get it. Great value
You have
for player.
50 mil left over. You buy him and Upamecano.
He's not gonna improve the team like Maguire. We're not gonna have the most clean sheet. Maguire's added leadership to the team. He's played every single game, I think, throughout the year. I know he's number one in appearances, and
Uh,
statistically the team has improved.
If we didn't buy
We've seen how he plays. We saw the Tottenham game together in
Yeah.
PA.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of games too, like against Crystal Palace too. Like he
Yeah.
is
Makes
he makes
mistakes.
too many
I think
mistakes.
post-COVID lockdown break, he hasn't been amazing. He's made a lot of mistakes. I think that has to do with the momentum of literally every player in the world's momentum went down. But if we get, like what Yoni Watt said, 30 million for Tarkovsky, if Tarkovsky's on the Man United right now, we're not making top four.
But wait, you forget that
Wouldn't.
we spent 80 mil on Maguire. You take 30 mil for Tarkowski, you improve your defense. You have 50 mil left over, you buy Upamecano, you improve your defense even more. Boom.
Yes, but Upamecano is more of a long-term solution than right now.
But do you
Upamecano,
improve your defense? You're telling me Upamecano
You
and
improve your
Tarkowski, even
defense
though I
slight-
rate Lindelof very highly, you improve it nearly as much as Maguire.
no,
The
no way.
discrepancy in the price
way.
tag, I'm talking about the discrepancy. Is Maguire worth 60, 70 mil? He's up there with Van Dijk, in my opinion. Van Dijk's better, but he's
No.
up there price-wise. Maguire is definitely up there. He has the value. He brings leadership and everything.
I
He has
think
the value.
so. I think
No,
he's up there.
Listen,
He
I
is,
think he's
but
up there.
Van
no
Dijk
more than
made
60
one
mil.
mistake in 2 years.
That's
2 years,
bullshit.
2 or 3 years that
That's
he's been.
bullshit.
2 or
That's
3 years.
bullshit.
He's made
They
more
led
That's
directly
mistakes.
to
He's
goal.
made
Yo,
Of course, but
Rashford
like,
has dribbled
mistakes
past
that
him
led
3
directly to
times.
goal.
Rashford
Hold
has
on,
Okay,
dribbled.
hold on, hold on, hold
Can I
on,
say something?
hold on.
Van Dijk, you get consistency. You get
Hold on.
consistency.
No.
Maguire,
You
don't
got
get
it wrong,
And
man.
It's like
Maguire, you don't?
Hold up.
It's like
Everyone,
a David De Gea
one at a
situation.
time.
You don't get like he's a very good when he's at his best. Nobody can match him.
Yeah,
He hasn't been consistent. He's been making too many mistakes.
you're right.
Maguire,
I
same
agree.
situation. He has potential, a lot of potential, but he's making too many. He makes too many mistakes. But where Man you want to go, he's not the right guy, in my opinion.
I think he is. Honestly, I really don't.
You
I
guys
really,
are forgetting something. You guys are forgetting something.
Go
You're
ahead.
comparing Van Dijk, right? You're comparing Van Dijk and Maguire. You're comparing the two teams differently. You got United that's been going off since Fergie left with change of coaches like every 2-3 seasons, and then you got Liverpool that got Klopp in when was it in
Really?
what
2015,
2016
13,
20,
2014, around
15,
that.
16, somewhere, whenever. He came in and he took that shit team and he made them great. Now you're gonna compare me. You're gonna tell me that Maguire is not up there with Virgil van Dijk. That Van Dijk was bought for 75 million. A year later, Maguire was bought for 80 million. You're telling me he's not up there just because United did not make Champions League for 2 seasons, for whatever it was, for 2 seasons, whatever, right? You're gonna tell me that's different when Jose was there. Jose wanted Van Dijk, but he didn't get him because Ed Woodward he's not a good businessman, you know?
Yeah.
Jose knew what he wanted, but then you sack Jose and you get Ali. You think that's gonna be good for the team? Obviously not. If Klopp was to get sacked, I'm pretty sure you guys would say the same thing about Van Dijk not being up there with Maguire. It would have been differently.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I'm saying Maguire and Van Dijk are definitely up there because Maguire has helped United this season tremendously in the defense. Thinking that you got Lindelof that was called a flop for 2 seasons was called a flop. That
100%.
Eric Bailey came in for his position, and Bailey had injury issues. But Lindelof came on. Maguire
Consistent.
helped him tremendously as a leader. He knows.
Yep.
He knows.
Rocco,
Albert,
Maguire
can I ask
knows
you a question?
Lindelof's potential. He knows it.
Rocco. I'm not. I never said he didn't help the team. He's a high
Is
quality
he worth
player.
80 mil? Is what you're asking.
80 mil. Listen, for a defender, it's
I
80 million.
thank
You
you.
could
I
buy
agree.
top
I agree.
players.
He's not worth
I-
80
This is
defender,
mil,
what I
but
was telling Tiku. Defenders, like you're saying, there are so many out there. It's so saturated. Yeah, name how many center attacking mids you could have brought into United that would have had the effect Bruno would have had. Not that many. Maybe
I agree.
Kevin De Bruyne. Not that
Agree.
many. But
Just-
Albert, let me ask you a question. Just because, would you
We
rather
don't make-
spend 73 million on Pepe or 80 million on Maguire if you were Arsenal? If you don't say 80 million on
So-
Maguire, you're lying.
Listen, let me tell you something about the Pepe deal because you guys don't understand. That deal was spread over long term. It's not like we
Oh
dropped
my God.
75
You
million
could
on
probably
the spot.
You're
negotiate
still
that with
paying
less.
that.
You're still paying
I know,
73
we're
million
Still
for it.
gonna pay that money, regardless
I know,
if it's
I know.
spread out in
I know.
installments.
I know.
Installment, not
But
installment.
listen,
Installments. Episode
bro,
1.
listen. Installments. No, but you guys shit on Pepe, but you guys don't understand how good he is. Like
He's
even with the
good,
season that
bro,
we've had,
73 mil.
like he is really good. You haven't seen his full potential. He was amazing at Lille. Is that I don't know how that's
Lil,
it.
yeah.
But even with the season he's had now, it's not the best. It's not the
How
best.
much did City
But
buy?
it's all right. You
Fernando
can justify
Torres?
it.
Yeah, how much did they
mil.
buy him for? 20 mil?
Huh.
He would have the
Who?
same effect as Pepe. Sorry,
Who?
Fernand Torres from Valencia.
same
He's-
effect as
no,
Pepe.
I think he's gonna do better
No.
than Pepe.
I know, but you guys comparing Man City, even though they didn't have the best season, they're still very structured. Pepe came in like
Wow.
Emery wanted Zaha, right? Emery wanted Zaha. He didn't want Pepe. They gave him Pepe. He didn't play him. He said F you, right? And then the team went to shit because of Emery. Then we got Freddie Ljungberg. He scored a goal or two against West Ham. Then Mikel Arteta, who came through restructuring. So he hasn't been given a fair chance in this Premier League season. He's done all right. Listen, it's not the best, but I
See,
believe that
listen,
he has a lot of potential.
I'll give you that. I'll give Pepe one more year. Because like you said, the multiple distractions when they call it from multiple, like, 3 managers. I say 2 because Inter manager really doesn't, I don't care.
Two.
2. So, yeah, I agree on that. But guess what? At the moment, he's been a flop. I'm sorry. You can't tell me that at the end of the day,
Excuse me?
you really, first of all, he's been a flop. Simple.
See,
And
who assisted again? Who assisted Aubameyang against Man City? Who? Excuse me. I can't hear you. FA
Yo,
Cup
your
final?
argument. You instead of
Silverware?
bringing up that Pepe
Silverware?
scored against us,
I
you
hate
bring
this
up that
guy.
he assisted during City.
I
But
don't care.
you
Go,
could not-
thank God
It's
you
not
beat
man.
City, bro. But what I'm trying to say is that output throughout the whole season's not worth that. You cannot even compare Maguire to Pepe at all, because
How long did
Maguire
you guys sign?
improved the defense tenfold from what it was last year. Pepe has not improved the attack because not for nothing,
Yes, he has.
he's not doing that much.
Yes,
But guess
he
what?
has.
Simply put, you can see the effects of Maguire. You can't really see the effects of
You
Pepe.
really can't see what Pepe's done.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't because listen.
Who do we-
look at
who do we
Saka.
have on
Look
attack
at
last
Saka.
season?
Saka's put more. Who they play on the right? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't even remember. I really don't. I don't know who played on the
Can
The
I
right.
just
guy
say one
and Sarkia, what's his name?
Iwobi?
No, Iwobi's in Everton.
Can I
I'm
say
saying
one
last year.
thing that we're all gonna agree on? England's gonna have a bright future, man.
Oh,
Like this guy, Saka, Greenwood, like
Rocco,
all these.
what do you think?
all these
What do you
players.
what do you think of England's Man United front three of Sancho, Greenwood, and Rashford?
I like how you worded
I like
it.
how you say United. Yeah, I like how you said that.
I'm sorry, I just had to make sure you
Just-
knew.
you think I wouldn't catch that? I'm so waiting. That's a whole different topic though.
I
Wait,
just had to make sure.
Tico,
you
I
knew.
want to ask you this question because
Go
I
ahead.
remember we had like an argument about Arteta and Ole. Do you think Ole is like the correct guy to take
100%.
Man U back to glory?
He already
100%.
What? Okay, hold up. When you talk about, I think Oli is the perfect manager for the rebuild,
yes.
for rebuilding this club. I would love in the future for Oli to be the manager to win us leagues, to win us Champions League, to win us the freaking treble. Who knows? But I think he's very technically, I think he really needs to get better. I think he is really underrated. He is underrated. The way people try and think like he's just some kind of dummy, doesn't know what he's doing. He's been versatile throughout the year. He's played 4-2-3. He's played 4-2-3-1. He's played three in the back. He's done multiple things. For what he's done with the players he's had, has been sensational. For us to be third, where we were 2 points away from relegation. So when fans try and attack United fans for saying like we're hyped because of making third, we're not. We're hyped because there's progression, and from where we were to now, it's a huge change.
The culture
So
we had under Ferguson is back, and I think now we have to see next year whether Ole. I say give him 2 years, but next year whether Ole can bring that culture and
Next year.
transform it into performances against top level sides.
next year's
Wait,
a
so
huge year. Huge year.
let me
I'm
get
not gonna
this
say
straight.
2. Next year.
Let me
Yeah,
get
go
this straight. You don't think Ole is the guy who's gonna? He's just the guy to lead Manu into a translation. You don't think he's gonna be the guy who's gonna take him forward?
We have to wait
all
and
the way?
see.
Just
We
the guy
have
who
to
make
wait
the
and
league
see.
time.
You have to wait.
I think we have to wait
But
and see
listen-
because I'm always gonna say I've never been Oli out. Never in my life, I've never been Oli out.
You
But
have
I've
been
always
touched in,
maintained. I've always maintained that I think there's only 2 managers who I'll sack Oli for, and that's Pochettino, because what Pochettino's ideas of running a football club is similar to what United heritage is: playing young players, playing attacking football. That. And Nagelsmann from RB Leipzig. Those are the only 2 managers. But Oli deserves a chance to show us, can he do it? He deserves it.
Can I
At
ask you
least that.
something?
Go ahead.
I'm not. Ole's been at the team for a year and almost 2 years now. He's been given $300 million to spend.
net
And-
spend
yeah.
of 70 million, please.
Net
It's
spend.
always
Mind
net
you,
spend.
mind you
please.
about the net spend.
I know. No, listen.
Acting like
I'm,
Liverpool
I'm
fans
saying
here.
that 300 million meaning I'm not talking about the club financial. I'm talking about he's
Okay,
had the
go
chance
on.
to bring in players.
Okay,
Bring in
I agree.
his players.
I agree. Okay.
I
Also
personally
lost
don't think he's the
players.
guy because I think you guys rely too much on Fernandez. Like I've seen against Chelsea, against I think he had another game where he was
I
like
agree.
mediocre. Leicester.
I agree.
The game was Manu was playing mediocre because Fernandez was playing mediocre. So I don't
I
think
agree.
Ole has changed the mindset. I think Fernandez has changed the mindset. You can't rely only on the player. You got to. The
But
coach
can I
has got to
ask you a question?
control.
Can I ask you a question? I agree. But so you talk about relying on the players so much. Isn't that what Zidane does?
I was just going
You
to bring
think
that up.
Zidane does exactly without the players that he has in Real Madrid? No.
No.
You don't win a trophy.
Zidane,
I agree. But you know what it is? I think it's not more about just listen. Were we better than Leicester that game? I think we were. I think we
you guys
were.
had
We
a couple
better.
chances.
Bruno Fernandes had a bad game. Well, I'm not gonna say bad game, but to his standard, it's a bad game. But that more has to do with the lack of depth on United
He was
rather
tired.
than
You
line.
could see.
Yes, we've played almost 7, 8 games since in the span of 2 weeks. That's insane. The scheduling is horrible, but
No, but
that
that's
shows
been
the
every
lack of
team.
depth, and he's tired.
It's not been every
Not
team.
United.
Leicester had a week
United.
rest.
Yes, I had a weak rest compared to us who
Listen.
played. Who did we play last game?
There's a
West
lot
Ham,
of
right?
teams that have had it tougher. Arsenal played Tottenham. They played Leicester. They played Liverpool. They played City.
Did we say
I know.
Arsenal?
For
No,
but I'm saying like Man U has definitely more. They have depth. You guys are underrated how much depth they have.
No, we don't.
Just that the
No,
players
we
you
No,
guys have.
no.
They're not.
Man, you
has-
don't have depth.
No,
Man, you
man.
don't have depth.
They
No,
don't.
I'm not
think
saying
that.
they have like depth like Real Madrid.
they
but I'm
don't
saying
have at
you guys
all.
are
They don't
underrated
have
with
at
depth.
all. You
They don't.
saw
Albert, you take
they
out
do.
Fernandez, Lingard comes on.
You change the game changes as soon as.
No, you know
no.
how they don't have depth when they had that injury crisis in the beginning of the season when Pogba was
Thank
out.
you.
You know they had all these. You saw
Thank
all
you.
of that.
No,
You
we
saw
had to find out.
as soon as they had that injury crisis, United
Game.
fell. United
Yeah.
fell. That's it. That's why they were going. That's why in the winter transfer window they were going all out for a new striker. They need a new striker. They need new wingers. They need a new midfielder. But they don't have that much time, so they got to bring in someone that's gonna help them out. You know?
Okay, so Tico, you're Ole. What do you do in this summer transfer that we have?
That-
This 4 or 5 weeks.
Clearly,
Who do you bring in?
I think.
Who do you bring in? Who do you take out?
Okay, let's. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick 3 positions. I'm gonna pick one. Yoni's gonna pick one, and Rocco's gonna pick one for United. I don't want this to turn into a United podcast, but whatever. I think number one, it's obvious. The right side, Jadon Sancho. Simple. There's no need to talk about that because I should have talked about how that player is. Simple. He's coming. So Yoni Waz, go. No need to talk about why Sancho should come to United. Go,
in terms
Yoni
of
Waz.
a position that United need,
Yeah.
well, they need another midfielder, 100%. They need another midfielder.
What sort of midfielder?
They need, I think, a defensive midfielder, but for now, we need a defensive midfielder. But I know that United wants to play the long term with that. I think we need a creative midfielder to back up Fernandez.
So who would you?
I don't like
Yes, yeah,
Grealish that
Ramsey.
much. Grealish, if
No,
it wasn't
who
for,
would you
I like Ramsey. Who would what?
Who would you bring?
I honestly, if it wasn't for Grealish's price tag, I'd bring in Grealish. But
What about
I
Madison?
don't know who
You
else.
guys
I
know
really
what
don't
happened
know
to
anyone
Madison?
off the top of my head, bro.
Van de Beek?
Van de Beek, he's all right.
And Didi.
Indeed,
And Ndidi is more.
if we
Okay.
sign Ndidi this summer, that'd be a 10 out of 10 transfer window. Ndidi and Sancho alone.
Not
But
gonna sign. He's way too much money.
Rocco,
Rocco,
your
go.
turn.
Who do you think?
Honestly, like today in the morning, I saw Raul Jimenez was on United's radar, and I actually agree with that. United need a new striker, not a new striker. They need a backup striker, because you saw as soon as Rashford got injured, Martial needed to change roles really quickly. And props to Martial because I was hating on him so much. I kept saying they need to get rid of Martial. They need to get rid of him.
Yoni Waz?
And props to him for getting to that role really quick under Ali.
Rocco, wait, my bad. Hold up, because I don't want to. Can I say something? Who's the guy defending Martial? I don't want to talk my shit, but who's the guy? Who's the guy defending Martial when everybody was against him?
You're defending him.
you were. That was you.
I'll admit it. I was hating on him.
Bro, I don't care. Martial was crap back then, and then he became good. Wow, let me defend.
Whatever. I'm not even gonna get into this discussion. Go, Rocco, please. Go. What were you saying?
I'll admit it. I wanted Pogba and Martial out because first of all, I didn't like Pogba's attitude in the locker room. I didn't like.
You were
I
there.
thought that was not healthy. He was very funny. I just didn't. From what I agree with Roy Keane with what he was saying. This guy is not really playing. He doesn't care. His attitude is not there. And, then I see, Bruno came in and everybody's like, Bruno, Pogba are going to link up the midfield. I'm just like, that's bullshit. That's not going to happen. I don't think so. But, man, props to Ali, bro. Props to Ali and Martial. I swear, man. Like,
Hey, let me tell
and
you
Bruno.
I appreciate
coming
it,
in-
bro.
Someone-
Someone respects him.
Someone made a great point. They said Pogba back then had to take the pressure of the entire team after every game, and Bruno relieved him of that. Let's go into the FA Cup because wow,
Talk about Arsenal.
This has been a really great session so far. I really enjoyed talking with you guys so far. We've been skyrocketing time wise. Let's go to the FA Cup. Albert, the Arsenal fan. We don't have a Chelsea fan here, thank God.
I'll speak for
we
Chelsea
should bring-
because
we
my
should-
boy Timo Werner and
We should bring.
Kai Havertz.
Listen, we should bring a Chelsea fan here one day.
Yeah.
Maybe a live stream because we know somebody who I like to banter. You know what it is?
Yeah.
There's something about Chelsea fans that just irks me, man.
Yeah.
I really dislike Chelsea for some reason, man. I love
It's
Joe.
the color. It's blue. We're just anti-blue.
I hate. Go. Okay, Albert. Let's ask you about what do you think is gonna happen?
Is he even here? His mic's muted right now. But
Sure. Is he?
he's here.
How's my voice? Because it says poor internet.
No. We
Oh,
hear you.
I
We
hear
hear you.
You're good.
We hear you. Go ahead. What do you think is
So-
FA Cup? What do you think?
So for this FA Cup, I think Arsenal can do it. I really think they can do it. But I think David Luiz has to get redemption like he did against Man City. David Luiz is going to be key because we're not going to have Mustafi there. He's going to be key because Chelsea's going to have Pulisic. They're going to have Giroud, who's on fire, by the way. And he
Yep.
wants payback against Arsenal again. Like he gave it to us
Yeah.
in Baku, but he wants it again. But I think
I don't-
Arsenal, I don't think Arsenal is just gonna like get walked over. Like we have a pretty good thing going. We have Tierney who's who you guys talk about player like best transfer of the season.
He's good.
Tierney
He's good,
is the
He's
best
good for.
signing Arsenal have made in a long time.
bro.
Like he has
I'm not gonna
changed
lie.
everything.
I was
He's
very
good for.
jealous when I saw you guys got him for 25 million. I
Me
was
too,
very
but
jealous.
I didn't want to say it, but it was a great sign.
So, and I think Arsenal can win it. Like Chelsea can win it too. It's gonna be a very tough game. It's a London derby. It's gonna be insane. But I think the bigger picture is if Arteta wins this silverware, I think it's gonna be a turning point. That's why I
agree.
really want this. That's why I really want this because
I think Arsenal genuinely. I don't know why. I think Arsenal has this in the bag. I think Arsenal's gonna slap Fat Frank off his pedestal. No disrespect
fraud.
to Frank Lampard, but he's not,
fraud.
bro. Like he's very over exaggerated. He's very overhyped. I think
Fraud bird.
Arsenal will get the win down. It's gonna boost their confidence. It's gonna be really healthy for them to get that win down. They will get into Europa if they win, right?
Yep.
yeah.
They have everything to play
Can I-
for, man.
Can I ask
everything.
you guys something? You mean you fans? Because why didn't Ole go for it in the FA Cup semifinal against Chelsea? Like
He
Because Champions League's
prioritized
the
Champions League. Simple.
Yes, I know you need Champions League, right? But like,
Yeah.
silverware is also very important for the team. And you guys still could beat. You guys beat West Ham, right? It was a tough game.
Yeah.
You guys.
We drew with them.
Oh, you drew with them.
Yeah.
But don't you think if you had beaten Chelsea, that momentum could have carried
No.
over? Because
You saw how
because-
tired Bruno was.
Our
Imagine
team-
him
yeah,
playing.
he didn't- The performance against West Ham was horrendous. It was horrendous, and I think he prioritized it because that's why. And it made more sense that the FA Cup. If he wins the FA Cup, guess what? That gets you to Europa League. You make it Champions League. There's no like simple as that. And also, you mind you, people are like, dude, win Europa League. Like we're still in the tournament, and
Yeah.
we're deep.
We have a trophy.
So there's chance for silverware where the team is gonna be fully rested and ready to go. So Ollie knows that. So we're still there with trophy. So, but I want to say about Arsenal.
Let's stick to the
Yeah.
FA Cup. Yeah.
Sure. So what I want to talk about Arsenal. I think Arsenal's gonna win. I think they're gonna win. I think this is a huge game for where Arsenal want to be. They need this. They need to be in Europe. They need to.
I disagree.
It's not even. They need.
What do you
to.
mean you
Because
disagree? How do you
it's not-
disagree
It's
with
not
that?
about the players. It's
no.
not about. Go ahead. Why do you disagree?
It's not the point that Arsenal need this. Yes, Arsenal need this, but Chelsea need this as well. I disagree with you guys
Not as
thinking
much as
Arsenal's gonna win it. I think Chelsea's gonna win it in terms of how where they were in the beginning of the season, that they had a transfer ban that couldn't buy any player, and to
That's
have
a false
they
narrative,
deserve
by
it.
the way.
have-
but-
no,
they
but
had bought,
but
they had
but
bought
Me
half
too.
the world. They had the
But-
players.
honestly, you get a squad with that, from the youth, and you make Champions League, and you make these good signings. You get Timo Werner, you get Kai Havertz. Well, not yet, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. You get
It's gonna happen.
you get these
You
talented
almost
players
slipped
coming
up like
in,
Sane.
and Ziyech. You get these
Yeah.
players, and you're just like, bro, how did you get these players? Like Chelsea don't have a good squad. They don't have, they're not that amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? But they still got
Yeah.
it. I'm pretty sure Lampard has something Arteta doesn't. Lampard is a motivator in my eyes. For what
Okay.
he's done with this team, with a youth team, like with such a young team like this, to make them always to the Champions League and make them a FA Cup finalist, to beat United, an in-form United, is a massive plus for me. Massive plus. I think even to Arsenal, props to Arsenal for being City, right? Because that's tough. Liverpool
And
couldn't do it. They got smacked, right?
I don't rate the Liverpool win, but City one was impressive. Go ahead.
I just think that Chelsea have a little bit more hunger in them, in their team right now. I really do. I don't know why. I just feel like
No,
Frank Lampard is going to be very motivated to his players to be very
I mean,
hungry with them. You know.
for sure. For sure.
Chelsea-
I understand that.
I disagree.
I understand that.
I disagree.
No,
Go ahead,
Chelsea has
Arsenal fan, go.
Chelsea has the
Let the
confidence. Arsenal has the hunger. Go ahead, Albert.
Yeah. Go ahead, Arsenal
So-
fan.
Listen, I think Arteta is going to demand nothing but the best, like he did against Liverpool and Manchester City.
We're not
I
denying
think
it.
Arsenal has what it takes, but I think it comes down to our defense. I think it comes down to David Luiz. If he wants to, because he had a horrendous game against Chelsea.
One game.
We got that.
Come on now.
He got the.
It's
No,
not
but
one
I'm
game,
saying
bro.
He had
a
horrendous
game against.
games.
Yep.
Okay, he had a horrendous game against Man City, but then he played amazing in the FA Cup semifinal. Hopefully, he does the same thing with Chelsea. It's all dependent on him. I think the whole team is amazing. Just our two center backs need to get their shit together.
I disagree with the whole team is amazing because it's really not. The talent, if you look at the talent between Chelsea and Arsenal, I'm sorry, there's more talent on Chelsea. But it's about what I said. It's about Arsenal need to win. They need to. Because you look at what's going on with Arsenal. Where Arsenal were, Champions League. How long has it been since Arsenal missed Champions League? It's been 3 years?
3-4
That
years.
is not. That's horrible. That's horrible in a business sense where when you spent a lot of money last summer and now you might not even make Europa. That's the trajectory of where Arsenal are going, where listen, you need to spend in the summer. But guess what? There's no money. When reports are coming out that Arsenal are negotiating a release clause. A release clause they're negotiating. That's a horrible sign for where the club is going, bro. Regardless of Arteta, which I think Arteta is a good manager. But listen, AC Milan, look at how many managers they had.
Listen. So with the negotiation thing, they want to offload these players. Matteo Guendouzi, a lot of these players. They want to offload these players.
Guendouzi to Barcelona.
But the thing that I'm scared about this FA Cup is last year Chelsea secured Champions League, but we were in the final. Like that was our gateway to the Champions League. That was the only thing that we had. Chelsea had already secured it, so I think that pressure played on our players. And I feel the same thing over here. Like Chelsea have secured Champions League, but they're just playing for the silverware. But this FA Cup is our gateway to the FA Cup. But I think Mikel Arteta is going to.
Pressure is good.
Is it not? Mikel Arteta is going to keep the players grounded. But let's examine players by player because you said Chelsea have a better team. Who has the better keeper?
Right now, in form, I was going to say, I want him to lift that trophy. I want him to lift that trophy.
He's a sensational player, and he should be Argentina's number one. In form, how he's playing, easily he should be Argentina.
He should be the number one.
Romero's not even part of Argentina's
team. Not anymore, yeah. Because you got
he could
be number one in a Premier League team.
Because he's in form. He's not. We got to see more of him. Romero has shown throughout his career at United and for Argentina, he could be a number one for a team. So let's relax on that. He's been really good, and he's helped you guys a lot. But Willie Caballero, because Kepa's not starting for Chelsea. They're not.
He's such a waste of money. How much they spent on him? Like
he does a good job. Who? Kepa?
Like 73 mil.
He's Chelsea's most expensive signing ever.
What do you guys think about the possibility that Chelsea might sign Oblak? If they sign Oblak and they sign,
they won't sign him. They won't sign him.
Kai Havertz, they're gonna be an insane team next season.
They won't sign Havertz.
Chelsea is in freak mode, bro. They're trying to give Dean Henderson $200,000 a week. Come on now.
Euros, not dollars.
Euros. Sorry.
But yeah, like I said, the thing about Chelsea is that I think their starting 11 is not that good. I agree. But what they have more than other teams is the depth. They have really good depth That's why they had consistent performance throughout the year. That's why they're in Champions League. United's starting 11 is 1,000 times better than theirs right now. Of course, when we got Werner, Ziyech, Havertz when they come in, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. But right now, our starting 11 blows them out the water. It's just like they had the depth to be able to play multiple games a year, which we didn't. So that's what they have. But Arsenal need to win. Simple as that, man. They really do. Because if Arsenal lose, they're in big trouble, man. They're in big trouble.
With the Europa thing, yes, the money is very important, but I think it's also important because in Europa League, that's how you give these young players a chance. That's how we discovered Saka. That's how we discovered Martinelli. That they were amazing players.
Yeah.
But guess what, man? I'm sorry, but that's the level that Arsenal are, man. I'm sorry to say it.
Let me tell you something. If Arsenal get another good central defender, because we got Saliba, if we get another CDM and attacking mid,
who's not proven,
we could get.
You don't have the money.
You don't.
Yes, we do. We're gonna have the money. Trust me, we're gonna have the money. If we're gonna win this Europa, if we're gonna win this FA Cup.
Okay. How about this? At the end of the transfer window, we'll be back right here with Albert, and we'll ask him why they couldn't sign Partey, who was there for 30 million. We'll ask you.
That's ridiculous.
If the board doesn't
That's ridiculous.
Listen, if the board doesn't want to give the money, that's on them. But I'm trusting Mikel Arteta because he's been straight with the fans since day one. He's been straight with the fans. He says, "Believe me, like the board's gonna back me." He says, and I believe him. What happens, we're gonna see.
We'll see. But like I said, I think everybody said their predictions right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Look good.
Yeah. We got Albert. Well, 3-1. Surprisingly, I guarantee you most people won't say Arsenal, but it just feels like it's their game to lose. It just feels like that.
But let me say something before we end. It's always these games where Arsenal lose.
Yep.
Not the FA Cup. Not the FA Cup. We beat Chelsea.
I mean, that's your tournament.
That's their trophy.
Per Mertesacker.
That's their level. That's
playing
your guys'
defense,
level.
and he marked David Costa. David Costa. When they were champions.
That is the Arsenal FA Cup. That is a fact.
Listen, all I know is Arsenal's gonna have a chance at silverware. Can't say the same thing about Man U or
so does United. We're in the Europa League, but thank you. Thanks for coming, Albert. I appreciate it. Europa League's still there, but no, listen. Thank you guys, both of you, Albert, Rocco. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. It was very fun.
We don't usually have, but very knowledgeable. Great questions you guys were asking. We really appreciate it. I know people befinitely take the advice, the info you guys gave them. It's very important. It's very important. Thank you guys for being on the show.
Also, I want to say thank you guys for coming on because you guys gave us such different insight. I really enjoyed this conversation because this is something that we want to do at Shirts vs. Skins. We want to talk about the different aspects, not just literally about current events. We want to talk about every single thing. And you guys brought your guys' insight as well as on current events, but also your guys' experience. And I really appreciate you guys for coming.
And shout out to Ahmed. I hope he's having fun with Woj in the bubble.
Yeah. You might see him right now. He might be he might be on like the sideline or something.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Oh, no.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
See you guys.
Take care.
Thank you.